Hey everybody, thank you for meeting me out here in one of my favorite places in nature. And during this time together, I'm going to show you around some of my favorite views of the ocean, and the bridge, and the forest. But I wanted to get together with you. This is your pre-course video for the Monday class coming up, your first Monday class starting on the 23rd. And I'm sending this to you because I wanted to have some time with just us for you to ground in with your own experience and for us to talk about the work that we need to do inside to listen to our messages as leaders and the questions that we need to ask ourselves inside as leaders before we can come out. So I'm hoping all of you got to see the introduction video. In the introduction video, I talked about this quality of actually jumping through the screen to find each other, to letting no amount of time and space separate us. So that's the quality we want to continue to cultivate so that when we start in that very first class on Monday, your screen is on, you're close to the screen, and you're imagining that you're diving through the screen into the living rooms, into the spaces of all the other 200 people on that call, that it is true community and that you can move around the room. And to do that, we need to be close. We need to find each other just like this. So one of the things I wanted to talk to you about today is this quality of being able to listen to your insides. So many of us weren't asked how we feel, weren't asked what's happening inside, weren't asked what we're passionate about. So one of the things that we're going to start to do together today in preparation for the MUN class is to ask those questions. It's why I brought you to one of my favorite places, so we could ask it in the space of beautiful nature. So to do this work that we're going to do together, you're going to need a pen and a paper. So if you don't have a pen and a piece of paper, go ahead and pause the video and find that pen and paper. Okay, great. I'm assuming that you have it now. So the first thing that I want you to write down is just very simply, how do you feel in this moment? How do you feel in this moment? I'm going to give you a minute for that. Great. And now just noticing, how did it feel to write down just how you're feeling right now, just to actually notice what's happening in your body. So I have another invitation for you, and that is to remember the last time you felt really loved, deeply loved. And this is a doorway into remembering who was there, how it felt, how did it happen? Were you able to let the love in? Did you acknowledge the love? All the qualities of what it felt like to be really loved. And I recognize for some of us that might have been so long ago. And I also recognize for some of us, we may not be able to remember a time. So if you can't remember a time, I'm going to invite you to imagine a time when you feel really loved and write down those qualities. But either way, whether it was an actual time or an imagined time, I'm going to give you a minute now and share this beautiful ocean view with you and ask you to write down all the qualities of a time when you felt really loved, real or imagined. Please. How was that? I'm so excited to share this beautiful place with you. So thanks for coming here with me. Um, Wondering how that was for you. How was it to relive or imagine what it feels like in your body to feel truly loved? How was that experience? So that's accessible. I just gave you the invitation and you took it. Or maybe it was difficult. Great to notice that as well. The next invitation I'm going to give you is to think about the people in your life who you feel most loved and cherished by. For most of us, it's less than 5. For some of us, it might be up to 10. I don't know many people that it's more than 10. But I'd like you to write down that list of people, whether it's 5, whether it's 10, maybe it's 1, that you feel most loved and cherished by. I'm going to give you a second to do that first. Okay, great job on that. And just take a look down at your paper. Take a look at this list of people and tune into the emotional tone in your body of each of those people. I'm imagining my list, and I feel some tears in the corner of my eye as I feel just how much love, and it's almost like my heart's exploding as I think about them. So now I'm going to ask you to think about the one that you feel absolutely most loved by and that you feel the most love for, that person who is most precious in your life. And I want you to imagine that that person is in distress. Could be any kind of distress. They need you. They need your help. How far out of your comfort zone would you be willing to go to show up for that person? What would you be willing to do? What would you be willing to tolerate in yourself? Who would you be willing to be to show up and give that person who you cherish the most what they need in their time of need? I want to give you a minute to write on that. How far out of your comfort zone would you be willing to step for that person who you cherish the most? So how was that to imagine the lengths that you would go to show up for someone you love? So there's a lot of times that you're going to be uncomfortable in this course. It's designed that way. That's what growth is, right? Stepping out of the comfort zone. So now I'm going to ask you to make a little switch. And that switch is that you are the most cherished person in your life that you're showing up for. And in the form of a promise, I'd like you to write down how you are going to stick by and show up for yourself when you get uncomfortable. What are you willing to tolerate for yourself, to show up for yourself as the most cherished person during this course? And I might write down, I'm willing to do it anyway when I'm afraid. I'm willing to get up when I'm tired and be vulnerable and share exactly what's happening for me. I'm willing to go places that I haven't gone before and to be transparent with my vulnerability in this course. But you find what it is for you. You find the uncomfortable places you're willing to go and who you're going to be for yourself in this course. Because we're telling you up front, you're going to be uncomfortable a lot. That's the way it's designed. And we want you to prepare by having your own back. So in the form of a promise, I promise to, and then what's the commitment you're making to yourself? I'm going to give you a minute just with you now. Everybody, welcome back, and I hope you are enjoying this incredible nature as much as I am. So the other piece that we want to really bring into the light today is that we are all walking around with everything we've experienced inside of us. Every hurt, every trauma, every joy, everything we've heard, everything we've seen lives inside of us. And the very top level of that experience that we carry in our body are the things that we're worried about, the things that we're managing in our lives. And so as we're looking to have more access to our inner world, to our heart, to what moves us, what we're passionate about, the first layer that we want to unpack is, what are we worrying about? What are we managing? So I'm going to ask you now to just unpack that layer by putting it all down on your pad. What is it that you're worried about, that you're managing in your life right now? What are the things that are occupying your mental energy, that you're maybe obsessing about, thinking about all the time? I'm going to ask you to write those down now. Get them all out on your paper. Friends, we are on the home stretch together, and you've been so brave and so willing to be vulnerable with you about what's happening inside, what you're feeling, what you're managing, what you're worried about. And now I'd love you to think about if any kind of help in the universe was available to you, whether it was hugs or someone listening to you or someone making you a great meal or someone giving you a place to stay or someone just feeling like a safe place you could go to. If there was any kind of help available to you, what kind of help would you want most in your life right now? And I'm thinking particularly about you getting everything that you want and everything possible out of this course. So I'd love you to write down now, what is the help that you would like most in your life right now? Great job. And great to notice what it is that we really want. That's the first step to getting it. So along those same lines, one of the things we're going to do in the very first week of the Dream Academy is learn a formula for change. This formula for change works for anything. Works for changing things on the inside, attitudes, feelings, the way that we move, the way that we treat ourselves, and it works for the outside. Building organizations, building projects, starting new relationships, finding a new place to live. Having people treat each other better, bringing help where help is needed. So this formula for change can work on any situation, on anything inside of you or outside of you. So with that knowledge that in a few weeks you're going to have this formula for change, I'd love you to spend this weekend before we start this course walking through your life and noticing what are the things inside of you and outside of you that you would like to change. It could be how you treat your mom. It could be how people interact in your neighborhood. It could be how you talk to yourself. It could be how you look at yourself in the mirror. It could be how slowly you move down the hallway. It could be that small, or it could be as big as how your country treats LGBTQI people. Anything that you want to see changing in your inner world or your outer world, I want you to take this weekend and just notice. I can't wait to see you on Monday. Nyasha and I are counting the minutes till we're together. Please take a look over what you've written today and notice that you're already on the path. You're already doing this deep inner work. And again, walking through your life this week and looking at what would you like to change, knowing that the formula for change is coming in the first week of the Dream Academy. Love you guys.